The Melania Trump grift empire. Okay, I need to tell you something, and I need you to stay with me here because this is important. In just a few days, a documentary called Melania is going to hit theaters across America. Amazon paid $40 million for this film. That's not a typo. $40 million for a documentary about the First Lady. For context, that is the largest documentary licensing deal in history. But here's what you need to understand. That documentary deal is actually the least scandalous part of Melania Trump's money-making operation right now, because while most of America wasn't paying attention, the First Lady of the United States quietly built what I can only describe as a grift empire. And the receipts are all public record. Let me say that again so it lands properly. The woman who lives in the White House, who represents this nation on the world stage, has been at the center of a cryptocurrency scheme where insiders made $100 million in profit in less than 24 hours. There's now a class action lawsuit. The token crashed 98%. And everyday Americans who trusted the First Lady's endorsement lost everything. If you care about ethics in government, if you care about corruption, if you care about regular people getting fleeced by the powerful, you need to pay attention to what I'm about to walk you through tonight. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on notifications because we're going to follow this story as it develops, and trust me, it's going to develop. Let me take you back to January 19th, 2025. It's the eve of Donald Trump's second inauguration. The country is preparing for a historic transfer of power, and at 8:53 p.m., Melania Trump posts on Truth Social announcing her very own cryptocurrency, the Melania coin. Now, here's where it gets genuinely terrifying. The Financial Times conducted an investigation using blockchain analysis. What they found should alarm every American, regardless of party affiliation. 24 separate cryptocurrency wallets purchased $2.6 million worth of Melania tokens, not after the announcement, before it. 2.5 minutes before Melania's post went live. Stay with me here because the numbers matter. Those 24 wallets that bought before the public announcement, they cashed out for a combined profit of $100 million. One wallet alone, which purchased $681,000 worth of tokens exactly 64 seconds before the announcement, netted a $39 million payday within 24 hours. Think about what that means. Someone new, someone with access to the First Lady's social media timing or access to the launch schedule, bought millions of dollars worth of tokens moments before the public had any idea this cryptocurrency even existed. And they walked away with $100 million while regular Americans who bought after the announcement watched their investments evaporate. The Melania token reached a market cap of $1.6 billion on launch day. Today, it's down 98%, down from over $13 per token to less than 50 cents. Americans who trusted the First Lady's endorsement lost their savings, and the lawsuit that's been filed tells an even darker story. According to court documents, the individuals behind the Melania coin allegedly ran at least 15 similar pump-and-dump schemes. The lawsuit accuses them of using Melania Trump as, quote, window dressing for a crime. The legal filing describes it as a scheme that, quote, weaponized fame to disarm diligence. Now, Melania Trump is not named as a defendant in this lawsuit. The plaintiffs say she was used. But here's the thing. She promoted this token. She endorsed it from her official platform. She recently posted an AI-generated video still promoting the Melania coin, describing it as a path, quote, into the future. She's still promoting it, even now, even after the crash, even after the lawsuits. If you're finding this valuable, hit that like button right now because this story is about to get significantly more complicated. Because the cryptocurrency scandal isn't even the whole picture. Let me connect some dots here. That $40 million documentary deal I mentioned at the top, the one Amazon is paying for a film about Melania Trump, let me tell you who's directing it. Brett Ratner. For those unfamiliar with Hollywood history, Brett Ratner directed the Rush Hour movies. He was one of the most successful action directors in Hollywood, past tense. Because in 2017, at the height of the Me Too movement, 6 women accused him of sexual misconduct and harassment in a Los Angeles Times expose. Warner Brothers, where he had a first-look deal, immediately severed ties. He hasn't worked on a major Hollywood production in 8 years, until now. Jeff Bezos' Amazon paid $40 million for a documentary directed by a man who was effectively blacklisted from the industry after sexual misconduct allegations. And they're spending an additional $35 million on marketing. That's $75 million total for a vanity documentary about the First Lady. The premiere is set for next Thursday at what used to be called the Kennedy Center. It's now called the Trump Kennedy Center. House Republicans voted to rename the Opera House after Melania Trump herself. I want you to think about what this looks like from the outside. The First Lady has a cryptocurrency scandal with $100 million in alleged insider trading. She's got a $75 million documentary deal with a disgraced director. The premiere is at a venue renamed in her honor. And the production was negotiated while tech billionaires were cozying up to her husband for favorable treatment from the incoming administration. This is happening in plain sight. But wait, there's more. Because before the crypto scheme, before the documentary deal, there were the Political Action Committee payments. Federal Election Commission filings show that Donald Trump's Save America PAC paid Melania's stylist, a man named Hervé Pierre Braillard, over $370,000 since April 2022. The payments were listed as strategy consulting, from a hairdresser. Now, Mr. Braillard is a talented designer. He created the gown Melania wore to the 2017 inaugural ball. But ethics watchdogs have raised serious questions about why a political action committee funded by small-dollar donors who think they're supporting Donald Trump's political activities is paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to Melania Trump's personal stylist. Here's the thing that makes this particularly egregious. During the period when these payments were being made, Melania Trump made almost no public appearances. She wasn't campaigning. She wasn't doing events. She rarely left Trump Tower or Mar-a-Lago, but the payments kept flowing. $18,000 a month, every month, year after year. Small donors sending $25, $50, $100 to support Donald Trump's political operation were actually funding Melania Trump's glam team. Drop a comment right now and tell me where you're watching from. I want to know how far this message is reaching because this is the kind of story that corporate media isn't covering with the depth it deserves. Now, I need to take you back before I can take you forward because there's a pattern here that goes back years. Remember when Melania Trump promoted the birther conspiracy against President Barack Obama? She went on television and questioned his birth certificate. She said it wasn't a real birth certificate. This is a woman who came to the United States under, shall we say, complicated circumstances, questioning the citizenship of the first Black president. Remember when Donald Trump promised a press conference to release Melania's immigration documents? That press conference never happened. Remember the audio recording that leaked of Melania complaining about having to decorate for Christmas? Her exact words were, quote, "Who gives a, and I'll let you fill in the rest." She followed that up by dismissing concerns about children being separated from their families at the border, saying, quote, "Give me a break." Remember the jacket she wore to visit detained migrant children? The one that said, "I really don't care, do you?" This is who we're dealing with. This is the pattern. And now she's positioned herself at the center of a crypto scandal, a massive media deal, and a PAC spending controversy, all while serving as First Lady of the United States. Here's why that matters beyond just the ethics of it. The Financial Times found that the same wallet patterns that appeared in the Melania coin scheme also appeared in another crypto disaster called Libra, which was promoted by Argentina's President Javier Milei. That token also crashed after insiders allegedly pulled out massive profits. The same players keep showing up. Blockchain analytics firms have tracked Team Wallets selling over $35 million worth of Melania tokens since the launch. Over 92% of the token supply is reportedly held by project insiders. This means the price can be manipulated at will, and regular investors have no chance. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy introduced legislation called the MeMe Act specifically to address what he calls crypto corruption by public officials. But with Republicans controlling Congress, that bill isn't going anywhere. Meanwhile, the Trump family's net worth has reportedly increased by nearly $3 billion in the past 6 months, largely due to their cryptocurrency ventures. The State Democracy Defenders Action nonprofit found that approximately 40% of Donald Trump's current net worth comes from crypto holdings. The first family is getting rich off meme coins while Americans lose their savings. Let me leave you with 3 things. First, the documentary. Melania premieres next Thursday at the Trump Kennedy Center and releases nationwide on January 30th. Amazon paid $40 million for it, spent $35 million more marketing it, and early reports suggest it's going to bomb at the box office. Pre-sales are, quote, atrocious. This was never about making a successful film. It was about making a payment. Second, the cryptocurrency. The Melania token is down 98%. A class action lawsuit alleges a coordinated pump and dump scheme, $100 million in alleged insider profits, and the First Lady is still promoting it. Third, the pattern. The PAC payments to stylists, the media deals, the crypto schemes, the consistent extraction of money from people who trust the Trump brand. This isn't politics. This is a business model, and regular Americans are the marks. What happens next depends on whether enough people decide that the rules still matter, whether enough people decide that the First Lady of the United States shouldn't be running what looks like a financial scheme from the White House, whether enough people decide that $40 million documentary deals with disgraced directors deserve scrutiny. Democracy doesn't defend itself. It depends on people who are paying attention, people who ask questions, people who refuse to look away when the powerful exploit the powerless. I'll be watching. I'll be following every development in this story. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on because this story is far from finished. When the documentary drops, when the lawsuit progresses, when the next phase of this scheme unfolds, we'll be here to cover it. And so should you.